When we're kids, we're taught a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Seems simple enough. I like to use it as an outline for the things that inspire me. Thank you. I chose this word because I thought it would be great to tie it to the speech I'm going to give, as well as to try and lift up our little club here. The first thing I'd like to talk about is a thing that inspired me. Now, those of you who are from Houston, probably before you came to Houston, maybe you thought, oh, Houston, cowboys, westerns, right? Dudes walking around, opening saloon doors, cowboy hats. That's always what I got when I traveled anywhere and told people I was from Houston. Oh, do you have a horse? No, I actually don't really like horses. I'm afraid of animals larger than me, generally. However, we do have something here that I've always found inspiration in, and that is NASA. And the thing that really, really inspires me about NASA is not all of the museum and the freeze-dried ice cream and the fun things you can do. It's when you go to NASA and you look at the Apollo or the Gemini or the Mercury capsule, and you think to yourself, they did what? They went to the moon? In that? You look at it, and it has analog switches. And you think about these astronauts, these men, and the women, as we recently found out, calculating the mathematics, doing the physics, preparing, engineering, doing all of the work to get those three brave souls from here to the moon, which is a very long and far distance. Basically strapping them to a bomb, setting it off, and shooting him into the sky. This little, tiny little capsule, and getting them there and back. And when I saw that, it blew my mind. It inspired me because I thought, if they can do that, we can do so much more. The next thing that I want to talk about as part of this noun of inspiration is a place. And perhaps many of you have not been there, but I encourage you to get there if you can. Because this place is in a foreign country. However, it is the seat for one of the world's largest religions. And the place I'm talking about is the Vatican. And I don't mean the city, which is cool, because they have their own euros, coins. They have their own stamps. You can send postcards from the Vatican post office. The Swiss guards, which wear funny, flavorful uniforms. But the Vatican is a beautiful building. I'm not particularly religious necessarily, but this place really is awesome in the original meaning of that word. It inspires awe. You walk in and you spend a lot of time with your mouth open, gaping like a fish, staring at the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, or staring at the ceiling of St. Peter's Basilica, or looking at the Pietà, which is now encased in glass. And the Pietà is a statue by Michelangelo of the Virgin Mary holding Christ. It is one of the most moving, emotional pieces of art I've ever seen, in stone. And it's amazing to see that and to think he carved that. Such a beautiful place. You don't even need to be Catholic to go there. The museum is fantastic. It is basically a systematic catalog of the entire history of the Western world and most of the Eastern world as well. It's amazing. It's so much stuff that after a while, you can't even comprehend it anymore. You're like, yeah, beautiful art, beautiful art. You're just running through because you can't handle it. It's overwhelming. And finally, the people that inspire me, and really the heart of my speech tonight, is this club. And I know that sounds corny, and it sounds trite. But from the very first day I got here, I walked in the door. We were meeting in one of the other rooms. I walked in the door. People greeted me. People spoke to me. People in this club have been around. We've welcomed in new members. We continue to welcome in new members. And by doing that, we build up and we lift each other up. My mother, who passed away last year, had a saying. She said, be kind to everyone because you don't know what journey they're on. And I bring that up because each of us has come to Toastmasters from a different path. For many of our members, speaking in public is a bowel-clenching terror. People get up and they sweat. Oh my God, I can't do this. For others, speaking is not such a big deal. Perhaps it's organizing. Perhaps it's learning to lead. Perhaps it's inspiring others to begin their journey. And each of us has a part of us or a part to play. My friend Ruben Cologne here inspired me to become a Toastmaster. I met Bibi, who is like a steady rock, who comes to all the meetings. I met Charlie, who without any sort of idea became the president of the club and then convinced me to do the same thing. I'm not sure if I should be thankful or not, but I am. And we met Diana, who is offered every time she comes in. We say, Diana, can you do this? And she does it. Yes. And that's what inspires me. That's what makes me go. That's why I come. That's why I'm here. Those are the things that really bring it home. And so, as we've worked with this word, inspiration, I leave you with a quote from Oliver Wendell Holmes. Now, Oliver Wendell Holmes was a giant of American legal history. He was the one who basically decided that baseball did not have to play by any of the rules and created baseball as a sport. He also wrote several books. Unbeknownst to many people, he was a Union general in the Civil War and fairly spectacularly failed several times as a general. He was not a great general. He, however, was fortuitous to survive. He has a quote that said, all of life is experimentation. And that's what makes me extremely happy to do this Toastmaster thing. To get up and to try out a speech, to try out a table topic, fail spectacularly, or win graciously. However it is, whatever it is, I always know I just get back up, I can do it again. Thank you.